Hello, Chemistry 10HH students. This is Mrs. Altman. We are on video number 23, Stoichiometry Part 4. Here are our objectives for today's video. Pause here. So a lot of this should be a little bit of a review for you, or we're going to be going into a little bit more detail with it this year than you've probably seen in the past. But chemical equations, we put reactants on the left and products on the right. These equations just tell us what is happening in a chemical reaction. Everything that is in the reactants must be present in the products because of the law of conservation of mass. Matter can neither be created nor destroyed. And really all chemical equations include the state of the matter. Sometimes we remove them just for convenience. So if you see S in parentheses, that means it is a solid. L, it is a liquid. G for gas. And if it is dissolved in water, meaning it's part of an aqueous solution, we'll do AQ for aqueous. Pause here. So we're going to be talking about balance in chemical equations, essentially just making sure you've got equal numbers of atoms on the left and the right side of the arrow. You can change the the coefficients, meaning the number that comes before a chemical formula, but you may never change the chemical formula in any way, shape, or form because that is fundamentally changing the nature of the chemical reaction. Pause here. So there's not a big how to do this. There isn't a step-by-step process. There's a couple of tricks here and there that make it a little bit easier, but by and large, it's guess and check. I'll just walk through my thought process and see maybe that will help you a little bit. So the first thing that I see when I look at this is that I've got an even number of hydrogens on the left and I have an odd on the right. I'm going to have to put a 2 in front of my KOH in order for this to be possible. In doing so, I also have to put a 2 in front of this KO2 to keep the potassiums balanced. But now I have an issue that I've got 2 from here and 2 from here, 4 hydrogens in total, and so I need 2 total here. So I want to see, am I balanced yet? So there's a way that you can do this. Make yourself a little table. And you don't have to do this every time, but this is just a good way to check your work. And just count up how many do you have. And so because I've got the same number of my reactants as I have of my products, I know that I'm balanced. So I'll move on to the next one. This one's a little bit easier. The first thing I do when I see here is I see I've got 4 hydrogens on my left and I only have 2 on my right. So I'm going to put a 2 there. My carbons are balanced. Now I just need to worry about my oxygen. So I've got 4 total over here. So I need 4 total here. Then I'm done. Taking a look here, I see that I've got S3 and S8. The only way this is going to work is to make them both 24. Then I've got 16 chromiums over here, so I need 16 over here. So none of these got to the point where I could simplify my coefficients afterwards, but if you end up in that position, it is obligatory to simplify the coefficients. Pause here. So in class, we're going to do examples where you're not just given the reaction, you're actually told the reaction in words. So there's something that we need to know, which is that certain elements, when they're in the gas phase, they form molecules of themselves. So like they'll look like this, for example. I'll write them out. So it's not just H, it's H2. You've probably heard O2 because of like O2 sensors in your car. And 2, all of them are 2. So anytime you hear any of these that are a gas, you know that they're diatomic. You could use the device Hunkelbrief just to help you remember which ones that there are. They are all of the gases on the periodic table that are not noble gases. That's another way that you could remember it. But there's not really too much of a rhyme or reason to it, but I could show you the chemical structures in class. It's just something that needs to be known in order to do certain types of problems. Thank you so much for watching and have a great night.